Hello and welcome to My Midlife Crisis Through Dance. Today we're going to talk about inspiration and motivation again. And I'll start with an apology. I had meant to do this video quite a long time ago, but with schedules being the way they are, life being the way it is, I was not able to do this video on inspiration and motivation. But I think the message is still important. What I wanted to talk about is still important, and important for everyone to understand what inspiration and motivation is about. Today I want to talk about a couple of things. First off, how I'm doing with inspiration and motivation a little more thoroughly, and then also an example of other folks using inspiration and motivation. For me, I explained the things that are motivating me for my creativity and my physical fitness in order to get into this, and also the meaning behind it to show this to my kids. But every day I'm inspired by a lot of other little things and other things in my life. One of the most inspiring things to me is my wife. I don't talk about my wife as much on these videos as she is a big part of my life, but she is very inspirational and motivational to me. My wife, though I go off and have work every day, my wife sacrifices and takes care of the kids all the time and does an amazing job with them. She is raising them to be wonderful children and making them so their lives are better. So they have interaction with other children, so they work with other people, they learn about colors and about nature and about life. And my wife is very much responsible for that. And the time that she has put into that and sacrificed for that is an amazing inspiration and something that is truly important for my children, and it's great to see every day. So that inspiration, I have to take away and do as much as I can with it. Part of that is spending time with her, which it's one of the reasons I don't post so often or do so much, is because I want to spend time with my family. On the other hand, other things about students who do great things around me, or students who like being positive people, those are also the people who inspire me these days. We just hit a bit of a lull in that type of inspiration because there's no more students around where I am. There's no more, everybody's moved out. So I'm finding inspiration and motivation through other things now. Kind of have to find it from within myself and within some of the things I've already talked about. Around us, like I said before, there's inspiration and motivation in little moments every day. There's even inspiration and motivation in some of the hardest moments, in some of the roughest moments there are out there. I want to reference specifically something that happened quite recently in pretty much everybody's psyche, which was the Boston Marathon bombings. Now, it was a horrific event that took the lives of too many people, and for terrible reasons made the country drop and really take away the heart out of the country for a bit. But as with any attack, as with any tragedy, there are things to learn. There's inspiration and motivation to take away from it. One case I want to cite specifically is with one victim of the Boston Marathon bombing. Her name is Adrienne Haslet-Davis. She was a ballet teacher and ballet dancer who, when the second blast went off, was too close to the blast and had her foot injured and eventually had to be amputated. Her story, this Adrienne Haslet-Davis, is very important because the inspiration she takes away, the motivation she took away from this, was not to be scared, not to be worried about her future, but she has vowed to continue dancing. She's also vowed to do the marathon this next year, which in itself is an amazing vow, especially for someone so affected, to lose a foot to this, to not be cast aside by the blast, not to be put down by the blast, but to be motivated, to be inspired to go on and not change her life, to still live her dream, which her dream seems to be dancing, and she also now has this motivation to finish that marathon. I find a lot of inspiration from her drive and her motivation. I know she's already been featured on many news outlets. She was on Dancing with the Stars, featured there, and maybe dance there in the future. And it's something I think that is very rightly, really rightly acclaimed and a good achievement. It's something people should recognize. Recognize her drive. Recognize even in the face of the terrible thing that happened to her, she's not giving up and not stepping aside and giving up on what she wants to do. She is powering through it and doing what she wants and what she needs to do. You should take away inspiration and motivation from things like that, from people who are driving themselves to be the best they can be, no matter the circumstance. That's why one of the things I talk about, and actually my email address is DanceOnInCrisis. And if you're trying to reach me by email, you can reach me at DanceOnInCrisis@gmail.com. DanceOnInCrisis means that even in the worst of what happens to us, that we can be inspired and be motivated to do amazing things and do great things. That we can express ourselves even in the worst of times, even when terrible tragedies do occur. So inspiration and motivation is not just about the good times, but inspiration and motivation is also about getting things done in the worst of times too. And I would encourage you all to never lose your inspiration or motivation, no matter the bad circumstance that happens to you. No matter the bleakness or how dark the clouds are, there's always a break of the sun and always a silver lining. There's always going to be something positive or something you can take away from anything. So trust in that. Understand that. Work that out whatever way you have to. Seek others if you can't find a way to find the positive outcomes of whatever situation happens, because others will be out there. Others can guide you. I know I have others guiding me all the time, just like I try to mentor and guide others too. So seek that out. Keep your inspiration and motivation, because it's a big part of what makes you a good person and a positive person. In terms of dancing, you can express that negativity or that negative or the bad tragedy in dance. There's tons of dances that express tragedy, that express sadness, or express sorrow that are out there. And it's motivation behind some great dance. I would encourage you, if you're interested in taking a look at what that would be, search it out. You can definitely find some online. I do some from time to time, and I may do one soon based on that too. So, for today, keep your inspiration and motivation. Use it. Use it even in the worst times. For coming up, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to learn to glide, which is amazingly terrible because my footwork is my worst dance quality. I'm also this week going to try to learn how to jerk. And if you'd like to know what jerking is, please search it out either on Google or search out To Do the Jerk, which is an Atlanta dance, on YouTube. I'm probably going to post a tutorial about how to do the jerk, or how to do pin drop, which is a part of jerk dancing, this week, so you can take a look at. Or I also may post what videos I'm using for gliding as well. But otherwise, even in tragedy, dance on.